World Liberty Fi recently launched, capturing a multi-billion-dollar valuation. I've invested into a lot of crypto companies in my time. I've actually gone ahead and done over 50 angel/strategic round investments, and I've learned a lot along the way. I wanted to go ahead and give my perspective as someone that has done this as to what in the world you should be doing with your World Liberty Fi, whether or not you have 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. This is going to give you further context as to what I look into when I'm getting into these crypto deals, and also what in the world is going on within World Liberty Fi. So if you're looking for that resource, this is that video. It's going to be the most useful World Liberty Fi video you'll probably see in the next decade. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I've gone ahead and taken the time to organize this into a whiteboard, and I'm going to be able to give you exactly what in the world is going on. I've done a pretty deep dive as to what World Liberty Fi is trying to do. So let's go ahead and get into it. Where's World Liberty Fi right now? Well, it's at $5 billion and about a 20 bill FDE. That's a pretty big FDV. I'm not going to lie. That's a very large valuation. But this is a politically charged coin. I mean, keep in mind, politics is the #1 driver for the valuation of this coin. If it wasn't backed by Donald Trump, this coin would not have gone anywhere near the valuation it's at right now. But thankfully, considering where we're at right now in the political climate, this is possible. This coin is possible. And this coin has had a lot of price appreciation and a lot of speculation as a result. In fact, I wanted to start this off by talking about the sale, because the sale is going to tell us a lot about the amount of liquidity this coin has. When I'm looking to get into investments, the #1 thing I want to see is big players entering the fray. If I don't have a primary investor, if I don't have a tier 1 investor, I'm not going to want to go ahead and get into the stuff. And so if I see big numbers, that of course is investor confidence. This snowball, the sheep mentality is absolutely a thing when it comes to investing into cryptocurrencies. So let's talk about some brief history on World Liberty Fi. In October, they announced their first initiative marketing a cryptocurrency called World Liberty Fi. This is the Trump family. By the end of October, the company only had $2.7 million worth of World Liberty Fi raised, which changed after Trump's victory in the 2024 United States presidential election. So this coin, had Trump lost, would never have gotten anywhere near where it got. But thankfully, as a result of him winning, the story is different, and of course the investment thesis is very different. This coin raised over $550 million. On their initial sale, this is at 1.5 cents, they raised $300 million, which puts right now the ROI at about a 13x. So they're up a lot. If I was a investor around this time frame, you betcha I would have taken my initial profits at this stage. I mean, there's no universe that if I got it at 1.5 cents and then this coin's at 20 plus cents, then I'm not going to be taking profits, especially if I have a substantial amount of capital inside of this sale. That's an absolute no-brainer. So whenever these coins launch, there's an expectation of a take profit. And so what people will do is market makers will purposefully allow the price to have a ton of volatility because they want these guys to sell. They want them to take profit before they move back up. That's the #1 thing we want to see from a coin. And so what we've been seeing on World Liberty Fi is exactly that. We had a lot of pre-market trading, price went up, and then it had its correction. It's kind of been chilling out. This is kind of what you do want to see when you're trading a crypto coin. If I'm buying post-launch, I want to see some level of stabilization around a certain price point. In this case, it's about that 15 to 25 cent range. That's been the big range for World Liberty Fi, and they've been able to actually maintain this over the past couple of days, which in my perspective is a very bullish thing. This is the one bullish thing I will say when it comes to World Liberty Fi. It's held its price point. The volume is pretty good. And right now, from a speculation standpoint, they've been able to actually stomach a lot of those profit takers from the initial sale, which is a very, very bullish thing. So about 20% of the amount of capital that they went ahead and raised ended up unlocking on launch at that 1.5 cent mark, which is a lot of money. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see anything in regards to when the other tokens would be unlocked. It seems like they need to do governance votes, which is very interesting. Usually there's very clear cut vesting, but I wasn't able to find any of that. So I'm not going to go into that. They did end up raising, on top of this 300 mil, they did another round that was about 250 mil. This was back in, what was this, on Friday. So it must have not been that long ago. So 300 mil, it was at 5 cents when they did the 250 million raise. So everybody's on profit right now. So all these guys have taken profit. No brainer. You would take profit if you got 20% out to take your initials out. Now, the co-founder indicated that they might do more offerings, question mark, but as far as I can see, we aren't getting that anytime soon. Now, 80% of pre-sale tokens are staying locked, and it's based on community governance votes. So if the token's doing well, we can expect more of these tokens to come out. If the token's doing poorly, we can expect these tokens are probably going to stay locked forever, which is good for you. If you're a retail investor, that's great. If you're someone that's investing into this round, then, I mean, you still feel good because you're up so much, but you just don't feel as good because you don't know when you're getting your money. In terms of the amount of money that went out, 10 million coins was allocated for ecosystem growth. 7.7 billion is for Alt5 Sigma, which I'll talk about later. 2.8 billion is for liquidity and marketing, and 4 billion is to public sale participants, which is that a 20% unlocked portion, which is honestly fine. You know, there's still quite a bit of tokens to get out there. There's 33 billion for the team and advisors, 20 billion for the treasury, 5 billion for strategic partners, and 16 billion for the sale. I don't actually think this is a insane amount of tokens. I know that I've been looking at a lot of these YouTube videos, and a lot of people are just very critical on the team only because it's the Trump team, and you know we've seen prior performances like the Trump Melania coins. I don't know though. I'm getting a bit of a different picture when it comes to this stuff. And I'll tell you why. It's because of USD1. Now, USD1 is the stablecoin for the World Liberty Fi ecosystem. The reason this coin exists in the first place is because of USD1. This stablecoin is very bullish, like extremely bullish. It already has major listings. So if we look at the listings on World Liberty Financial, we see Binance, we see a bunch of major listings, but we look at USD1, which is the stablecoin for this ecosystem. And you can check this for yourself if you'd like. All you got to do is go to the markets. We have Binance. Of course, Binance was a major investor, but I mean, we've got Binance, we got Coinbase, we got Upbit. We got pretty much all of the major exchanges we need for World Liberty Fi to function. I mean, it's on Solana. It's got CCIP, which is the Chainlink stuff. It's got everything it needs to grow. And the market cap for the coin has been going up. I mean, there's more and more market dominance. USD1's very bullish. They have a $2 million investment from an Abu Dhabi-backed firm called MGX, which is interesting because you would expect the US dollar stablecoin to be backed by a US firm. But no, I mean, the Middle East is going big. It's, you got some ethical concerns as a direct result of that. Will that mean that this is the stablecoin for the US government? I highly doubt it. I don't think that's going to happen. Just because something's backed by the Trump family doesn't magically mean this is going to be like the coin that the United States government is going to use. If the Abu Dhabi government or firms are backing it, then that kind of guarantees that this isn't going to be like a multi-trillion-dollar coin, multi-trillion-dollar stable coin. But it's still very much, it can get quite a bit of traction, a direct result of the amount of capital that's really flowing into this. That's a crazy amount of capital. Let's go over some of the other stablecoins that they're competing with. So USD1's at about 2.6 billion. DAI is at 5.4 billion. We have Athena, which has been the big winner recently at 13 billion. And USDC and USDT, they've been all right. USDC's kind of like been stalling out recently. USD1's got a lot of potential here. This market's still early, and the Genius Act allowed all this to happen. This is the detail on it. The bill could give a boost to stablecoins, which are meant to solve one of the problems with crypto. They're rarely used to buy and sell things due to how much their price changes from day to day. The bill could encourage the US dollar stablecoin market to grow nearly eightfold to $2 trillion over the next 10 years. That's a lot. And that's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent that told senators last week. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal because they usually do very modest predictions. This is not like a crazy prediction for USD1. So lots of growth ahead likely for this stablecoin. Great news for stablecoin holders all over the world. Now, other things, this Trump Melania coin, that's going to be a thing that comes up pretty fast. The Trump coin, I don't know. It feels a little bottomed, to be honest. It does feel like this coin, it's been going down for a long time. It does feel pretty bottom. Sentiment does feel pretty bottom when it comes to Trump. But of course, I would be much more bullish on World Liberty Fi versus the Trump coin only because of the stablecoin stuff. In terms of this utility coin, this is a big deal. I mean, check out the people that are on their team. We got Trump, which is the big boy. He's the president of the United States. We have Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Barron Trump, and then a bunch of other people here. Zach Witkoff is one of those big guys here. In terms of controversy that we had today, Eric Trump is officially out from the board of the World Liberty Treasury firm Alt5 Sigma. Alt5 Sigma is a treasury company that is buying over $1 billion worth of World Liberty Fi. If you didn't know, the market cap of World Liberty Fi is not very high right now. It's at $5 billion. So a $1.6 billion treasury is a big deal. I mean, that's a hell of a big deal. A stock and token deal announced earlier this week will effectively turn a publicly traded company into a proxy for the Trump family-backed World Liberty financial coin known as World Liberty Fi. Alt5 Sigma, originally a healthcare company, this is very common in the stock market, raised $1.5 billion, selling 200 million new and existing shares, with some of the proceeds earmarked to acquire World Liberty Fi from the World Liberty Financial. Alt5 plans to adopt a World Liberty Fi specific treasury strategy, holding roughly 7.5% of the coin's total supply. This is going to be a big deal. The World Liberty Financial was the lead investor of the share sale of this company, with the latter company revealing in a file that it received $750 million of World Liberty Fi from the Trump-backed crypto project in exchange for shares of Alt5. Treasury companies, they're the hot men in crypto. This is a very bullish thing. Treasury companies can only be bullish for crypto. This is probably where the industry is moving. I mean, when I saw WorldCoin get their treasury company, it was a big deal. When Doge got it, was a big thing. Ethereum, Ryan Somali over at Solana, that was a big thing there. So these are very bullish things, right? Very bullish things. We like Alt5. But as a result of the fact that this thing could not go ahead and go to NASDAQ if Eric Trump was there, they announced early on that he was going to have to be removed to go ahead and make this a thing. So he got moved to like a board observer role on that company, on Alt5 Sigma. He did say he's 1,000% committed. So I guess it depends on your perspective on whether or not you actually believe him or not. I guess that depends on where you lean politically. But yeah, no, he says he's still committed and the price is bounced back. So pretty bullish, actually. I don't really understand why the price would go down. This didn't really make any sense to me. I actually think the price should go up, but it kind of is what it is. Now, they're trying to build a super app called the World Liberty Fi app, which consolidates all of the protocol services, including on-ramp support via users' wallets. They want to go ahead and build lending and borrowing with USD1, and maybe a DEX is coming. Maybe. TLDR for the mission of World Liberty Fi, they want to integrate a regulated reserve-backed stablecoin with DeFi protocols. They want to position it both functional and strategic for digitally native and institutional markets. So that's DWF Labs. They're a big investor into World Liberty Fi. Their TLDR on the whole thing. There has been controversy when it comes to World Liberty Fi. Anything political always comes with tons of controversy. Justin Sun was one of the biggest backers. In fact, I think he was the biggest outside capital backer of World Liberty Fi. He put a lot of investment. I think it was like $75 million. Now, he had a lot of tokens frozen. A hell of a lot of tokens frozen. Sun transferred $9 million of World Liberty Fi to his exchanges after the token's price dropped, and the World Liberty Fi team immediately froze his wallet, holding about $107 million worth of tokens. Funny enough, instead of the token going down as a result of this, well, initially it had gone down because people were scared that World Liberty Fi was centralized. No. Coin went down and went right back up. like I don't know what happened there, but people just did not care about this. Now, of course, Justin Sun is freaking out. That's $100 million. He said his assets were unreasonably frozen despite his early support in the project. He argued that all investors should have equal rights. I don't know their agreement, but it does seem like there's something there that is a little bit fishy when it comes to this stuff. Now, where in the world can this coin go, and would I actually park some capital into World Liberty Fi? So, considering the fact that this coin's already at a $5 billion market cap, I'm not going to say this is going to 100x tomorrow. This is a coin that clearly has a lot of sell pressure ahead of it. There are early investors that are already heavily in profit. This is going to be an annoying trend for the foreseeable future. I expect in the next month, a lot of these investors will have taken profit and we won't have to worry about this anymore. Bullish thing, this is a pro. The price is held. The volume is good, so the attention is still here. Another pro, there's clearly a cult here on World Liberty Financial. People want this to be the big Trump success in the crypto industry. People are hawking at this like it's XRP. They really are just really out there making sure that attention is there, which is a great thing. In terms of cons, there's a lot of unknowns. They blacklisted over 200 wallets. We don't really have any clear picture as to why that's happening. We also don't really know when these tokens are going to be unlocked. So I guess you kind of just have to trust the team. This is one of those where there's less fundamental reason to invest into World Liberty Fi and more of like an emotional thesis on whether or not you believe the Trump team can amass more concentration in their stablecoin. Now, a $2 billion investment is nothing to scoff at. Clearly, this stablecoin is going to go over $10 billion at one point. It's going to get a lot of attention. USD1's one of the fastest growing stablecoins on the planet right now. I do think that because of the fact that they have USD1, if they properly play it, they will be a success. I hate to be that guy. I know it's easy to be bearish on something like World Liberty Fi, and I would love to be that guy to clown on it, but I just don't see it. I don't see a world where a coin that's held this strong after this much controversy and this much support is going to stay here forever. Now, in terms of a price prediction, I've got to see this thing at 50, 70 cents by the end of this year. I mean, that's where I'm thinking this is going to go. I saw Virtual Bacon's video. He's also an angel investor. Now, he was saying that this coin could hit $1 and he invested into the early stage round. I could see that. I could see that. I think the people that are talking about the FDV are a little bit too focused on a what if. It's kind of like going to XRP and saying, you know, but the FDV of XRP is $300 billion. Nobody does that. Everybody looks at the market cap for XRP. So we should be doing the exact same thing for World Liberty Fi. Right now, market cap is $5 billion. And that's the thing we need to focus on. There's absolutely room for growth, 100% room for growth. This is a coin that still has a lot of its utility left to the market to be announced. It has fresh treasury buybacks and its valuation isn't crazy. This easily could be a ranked 10 to 20 coin by the end of this bull cycle. And if we see Bitcoin at 200,000 plus, that's going to mean World Liberty Financial is going to get a lot of growth. So this coin has been able to successfully hold despite everything that's been going on. That's very bullish. And so if I was someone that got into the sale, heck yeah, I would have taken my first 20% profit on launch. And that means if I would have done it, then I'm assuming that many of the people that participate in the sale are more than likely doing the exact same thing. They're taking profit on their initial investment. Right now, why in the world would you take risk when you could just take your initials out and not have to worry about that? That's exactly what a majority of investors are going to be doing. So what we're going to see is what happens on every TGE. If they can actually hold this price point for the next week, I actually think this coin's going to go up. If they can't hold this price point and we go below 15 cents and we continue to make new lows, then this is a Trump coin all over again. That's exactly what's going to happen here. If they can make it out of the beginning phase and come out unscathed, this coin will be a success. But if they succumb to the sell pressure that is the crazy amount of profit that people are in right now and the amount of controversy flowing, then the coin's not going to be a success. It's simple as that. The narrative right now shaping stablecoins is extremely bullish. And so if they can continue to get stablecoin volume, then they're going to be a massive success. But if their coin doesn't do well and there's a ton of bad stuff floating around, why would any institution use USD1? There's no reason to use it if it's just a ton of risk to use. So that's exactly what's going to happen here. I think World Liberty Financial is a buy right now. I don't think it's going to be a 100x, but I think it's going to be something that if you're buying majors, you look back at it in a month or two and you're going to be sitting pretty leading into this altcoin season if they hold where they are right now. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more updates and breakdowns. Stay classy, and that's all.